We're looking at learning target I, finding area circumference of both entire circles and portions of the circles. In order to find the area of just a slice of the circle, we first need to focus on finding the area of the entire circle. So we'll take a look at these first few questions here. To find the area of an entire circle, that area formula is pi r squared. Okay? For area, you will always need radius. To find the circumference, we have two options. Circumference can equal 2 pi r or pi times diameter. Either of those two formulas will work. Obviously, 2 radius is the same as diameter. Now, that is when we are just trying to find the whole. Right? And those are the things that will go in the denominator of our proportions in the next question. In order to find a part of the circle, whether you're looking for a part of that outer length, the circumference, or you're looking for a part of the area, you first need to find the whole, and that will help you tell how much of the area you have. So we look at this formula. It's part over whole. This side of the equation will always stay the same. We're always looking at putting the central angle over 360 degrees. So find that central angle and put it over 360. There are always 360 degrees in a triangle. What can change is what you're looking for. If you are looking for an arc length, we're talking about a length that is circumference. So here you will see me write 2 pi r, sometimes pi times diameter. Okay, that is the circumference. You need to know the whole before you can find the part. Okay? The same is true for area. For area, we're going to use this one for sure formula, pi r squared. Find the area of the whole before you can find the part. All right, so we're going to practice finding the area of the whole before we get into just looking at one of the pieces. So number one, find the area of the two circles. Well, the reason that we've got two examples here is there's two things that you could be given in a circle. Here, we've got the radius is 5 inches. This one, the diameter is 23 centimeters. When we're trying to find area, we want to use, of course, the area formula, and that relies on radius. First example has radius already given. The second example, we will need to find it. The radius is the diameter cut in half. So we need to take 23, divide by 2. We end up finding that our radius is 11.5 centimeters. From there, we now can use the formula. Circle on the left, area equals pi 5 squared. You'll use the pi button on your calculator. Pi 5 squared is 78.5. And this is area, so it is square inches. The second example, our radius is 11.5, so area equals pi 11.5 squared. And that area is 415.5 square inches. Nope, that's square centimeters, excuse me. For circumference, we are going to use either formula here. Since we have diameter, we can use circumference equals pi times diameter. Since on this side we have radius, we can use the 2 pi r. Over here, circumference is going to be pi times 34 for a total of 106.8 centimeters. On this side, we will need to use the formula 2 pi r is 16. And we end up right around 100.5 inches. This is just a length. We are just finding the length around the circle. So we are leaving our units in centimeters and inches. So, good practice finding the whole, because that's what you will need to do in order to find a part. You have to figure out how much of the circle, and then what is the length entirely around, or what is the area entirely around the circle. Here we are trying to find the length of arc AB. So when I see that word length, I automatically think circumference. And that is the first thing that I would do. Find the circumference. C equals. Make the decision up front. Do I have a radius or do I have a diameter? It is a radius, so I'm going to put R equals 7 feet. 2 times pi times 7. My circumference, the entire length around is 43.98229. I'm not going to round that quite yet. That's not my answer. That's just what we're going to use to get to my answer. Now I set up my proportion. The measure of this central angle that tells me how much of the circle this is 140 over total circle would be 360 degrees. I'm going to put my variable in the numerator here on top because I don't know the part. Okay? That is the length of the part. I'm not sure. Okay, here's my question mark up here. What is that length? I do know the length all the way around though. It's 43.98229. And I've got that number stored in my calculator right now. I haven't cleared it off. And so when I cross multiply, I can take that number and multiply it directly with 140. And on this side, it will multiply it to 6,157.5. The other direction is just 360 times x. Remember, part over whole. I don't know the length of the part, but I did know the length of the whole thing. The last step is to then divide by 360 degrees. X equals 6,157 divided by 360 is 17.1, and our length is in feet. X is equal to, we can be more specific and we can say the length of AB is 17.1 feet. All right, it's the same idea on the second question when we're dealing with a part here. This time we're looking at the area. Again, I'll identify what we are given. My radius is 12 feet. Okay, I'll need that to find the area of the whole thing. I know I've got a 60-degree angle here. And so let's immediately find the area of the whole. So the area of my whole circle is 452.389. Now we're going to set up our proportion because I'm trying to find not the area of the whole thing, but just this part right here, which I know is 60 out of 360 degrees. All right, part over whole. I don't know the area of this part. I will put a variable on top. I do know the area of the whole is 452.389. Again, I will cross multiply. This is 27143.36. Cross multiply the other way is 360x. Dividing both sides by 360. I get to my final answer of 75.39, rounds up to 4 square feet.